Good morning and welcome to Thankful Thursday. I am Cindy Ballantyne, Mission Chair of the Relay for Life of Northern Virginia. Today we celebrate and thank our community of caregivers. We want you to know how grateful we are to you for supporting your friends, family, or other loved ones throughout their cancer journeys. We also want you to know that you are not alone. It's now my pleasure to introduce you to one of our event co-chairs, Alicia Schrager, who will share a caregiver reflection written by a member of our community.
Caregiver Reflection. As we honor and celebrate our cancer survivors throughout our virtual Relay Week, we want to thank and celebrate our caregivers who are a vital part of our Relay community. Caregiving is one of the most difficult jobs you will ever have, yet it's possibly the most rewarding. Helping to take care of a loved one gives us a chance to be our best selves. We have the opportunity to walk through the most challenging time with someone for whom we care deeply. There will be difficult days, but through those tough days, you become closer to your loved one and learn much about yourself. You realize that you're stronger than you think. You learn the value of slowing down and being present in the moment. You show your strength to your loved one, and at the same time, help your loved one to realize their own strength in the face of adversity. You are honored and humbled by the trust they have put in you. The time you spend as a caregiver is time well spent. Whether it is sitting quietly together in a park, enjoying the beauty of the day, listening to old family stories while visiting in a hospital room, helping to feed someone or brush their hair, the kindness and care you show in those moments are both needed and deeply appreciated. These are the moments that define your humanity and truly describe what the term caregiver means. You showed and gave care. Today, we thank you for helping to take care of your loved ones and know that they're profoundly grateful for your unwavering love and support.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing that reflection that I think so many of us can relate to. Next, we are sharing Chris and Jason's caregiver stories about their experiences and lessons they have learned. Chris found support and comfort at Relay for Life after caring for her mother. And Jason, another relayer, reminds all caregivers to accept help and support from family and friends. For current caregivers, the American Cancer Society has produced a series of videos to support you as a caregiver and to make sure that you are practicing self-care. Don't forget to check out the email that was sent out to participants today for the link to this video series and other ACS resources. Enjoy these videos as we celebrate so many of you, our caregivers, on this Thankful Thursday.
When I had cancer, it was very scary.
I was in severe pain every day and had no strength in my right arm due to the tumor pressing on my spine.
My mother told us how amazing it was to always have her children as her caregivers.
When one person is diagnosed with cancer, the whole family is diagnosed with cancer.
Their spouse, their parent, their child, their neighbor, their coworker, their best friend.
There are people that are in the trenches with you.
If you're a caregiver, thank you.
I just want to say thank you to my caregivers and other caregivers.
I am so immensely grateful for the support of my family and friends.
The caregivers are our hope.
During my mom's last few weeks of life, she shared this message to her network of caregivers. Thank you for walking with me on this journey. The brightest of lights shine in the darkest of times, and you are our lights.
Hi, I'm Kristin from Illinois, and I am a 23-plus year caregiver. My caregiver journey started in 1997 when my mom was first diagnosed with breast cancer. Unfortunately, she lost her battle in 2002. I was her caregiver. I was the person who went to the doctor's appointments with her, and I helped her to decipher all of the crucial information that she was given. During that time, I didn't realize how important my caregiving was to her and to me. But I was angry because cancer was doing some things to her and to our family that made me upset and bothered me. I turned to Relay for Life in 2001 as an outlet to help me channel that anger and to find something to do that made me feel like I was making a difference in someone's life. I later found out I couldn't make that difference in my mom's life, but due to the funds that we've raised with Relay for Life and the American Cancer Society, research had been done and continues to be done that has made a difference in the life of breast cancer patients and all cancer survivors. Those who passed away years and years ago now are surviving their cancer, which is one of the greatest things that we can ever do for a cancer survivor and their caregivers and family members and friends. The Luminaria ceremony is a very important time for me. It gives me an opportunity and an outlet to remember my mom and to help me heal through the times that since I have lost her. It's a very important time for other people as they go through the same thing. I am so grateful for everything that I have been given due to Relay for Life and the people in the network that I have met and become a part of. Relay for Life has made a world of difference in my life and many others as well. Thank you very much for all that you do for Relay for Life. And remember, your donations make a difference in the life of a cancer survivor. Thank you.
Hello, Relayers. My name is Jason Masony. I am a relayer as well, and I'm also an American Cancer Society Voice of Hope. I live in Medina, Ohio, which is just south of Cleveland. You know, I get an opportunity as a Voice of Hope to go out and share my story, whether it was in person pre-COVID, whether it's through videos like this, through Facebook Live events. And I tend to share a lot of numbers, whether that's the number of people who will be diagnosed with cancer this year, whether it's the percentage drop in preventive screenings last year during COVID, or whether it was the drop in dollars for fundraising last year. But one number has always stuck with me, and that's the number 46. 46 represents the number of days between when I said I do and I heard the phrase "you have cancer." Because back in July of 2005, I got married on a warm afternoon, and about 46 days later, about a week or so after getting back from our honeymoon, I sat in a doctor's office while my wife Julie heard the phrase "you have cancer." What followed was 3.5 years of a very valiant battle, multiple surgeries, numerous rounds of chemotherapy, oftentimes thinking that we were beating it, only to have other setbacks. It was hard. And being a caregiver during it was very, very difficult. I was in my early 30s and I had to grow up real quick and do stuff that, you know, an individual in their early 30s shouldn't have to do as a husband. Whether it was changing IVs, helping with going to the bathroom, whether it was going back and forth to the bed at night, helping with baths, lots of trips to treatment. Being a caregiver is one of the most honorable things that somebody can do. Every survivor I talk to tells me that they couldn't have beaten cancer without their caregiver. But being a caregiver kind of sucks. It's hard. It's not fun. And I wouldn't wish it on anybody. The American Cancer Society and the volunteers of ACS, they became my caregivers and my support following Julie's passing. I didn't use any services of the American Cancer Society while she was battling, but I joined Relay for Life and after she passed away. And it's, like I said, relayers from my local area, around the country, around the world have been my caregivers ever since then. And I'm so appreciative of all the work that you all do. My call to action to you is this. If you're a caregiver, take care of yourself. Make sure you're taking some time for yourself, whether that's taking time in just quiet thought, whether it's something spiritual, or whether it's just kind of getting out with somebody you know to have lunch. I had lunch with my dad while Julie was in hospice care, and the most meaningful thing during that time that she was in hospice care was when he asked me how I was doing. I immediately wanted to tell him about Julie's battle, and he said, I didn't ask about her, I want to know how you're doing. So if you're a caregiver, take care of yourself, and know that I'm giving you a virtual hug from my heart right now, because I know it's hard. If you know somebody who's a caregiver, reach out to them. ask them how they're doing. Tell them you got their back, because they need to hear that. Lend them your ear, just so you can listen. And don't forget, as caregivers, we come in many shapes and sizes and flavors, as I like to say. Let's make sure we're clapping for those caregivers who are walking next to their survivors, who are longtime cancer survivors. Let's make sure as survivors we're honoring those caregivers. Let's make sure, again, we're reaching out to people whose survivor is battling right now and they're scared and they're lost. Let's make sure we're reaching out to them. But please don't forget the people who are caregivers who lost somebody to cancer. You can be their caregiver. You can be the caregiver to the caregiver. And you can let them know that we got their back. So thank you for doing that. Thank you to all the caregivers out there. Thank you to the survivors for continuing to inspire me. And thank you to everybody who continues to support the mission of the American Cancer Society with fundraising, with Relay, and everything you do. Thank you.